Good morning and welcome to Love Island, the morning after. Now, this is sort of a last episode. It's not the last of the series. I'll be bringing you 2 episodes from South Africa, but it's the last in the series with my podcast bestie, Indiyah Polack. It's our last one in the studio, and there is no one we would rather join us for this momentous day than the super fan himself, Sam Thompson.
Yay!
Hello. Before we get started, may I just make an announcement? I've really enjoyed myself a lot.
Oh,
Had
so
such
thank
a
you.
good time, and you guys are so good.
And it's been lovely
good.
to spend a week with you.
Yeah, it's been really, really, really enjoyable. So thank you for having me.
You sound like Sammy Root.
Oh, God.
really
good time.
it. Now, talking of getting emotional because you're leaving,
Yes.
we had the boys getting their calls from home.
Yes.
Now, Curtis and Luca both cried when they get their calls from home. Do we like a man that cries? Do we like an emotional man? Sam, are you an emotional man?
Oh, that's such a good question. Do you know what? It completely depends. Anything to do with animals, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I actually cried when I watched Boyzone, the documentary. I genuinely did. Weirdly, if we're going to sort of make it about Love Island, I actually got a little bit emotional when Luca was tearing up.
Are you okay? Please don't cry. I love you so much. You've honestly done us so proud. So proud in every aspect. I can't explain.
I don't know what it was. I think he's a really emotional soul. I really felt it.
Because he's dry, he's got a sarcastic sense of humour, he doesn't get overly excited about things, whereas Curtis is the showman and, he's dancing and he's, darling and stuff. Whereas Luca, we don't expect to see it from him. And I think it's really great that he has shown his vulnerability this season and he has shown people that it is okay to cry.
If both of your boyfriends, husband, boyfriend, if they were crying, how would you feel?
I don't mind a crier. I feel like if you're upset, just let it out. It can be a nice big hug.
But
it's nice.
I was listening to a podcast the other day, actually, and they were saying that when people start crying, don't cry. You shouldn't say that. You should let people cry as long as they need to.
Definitely.
You need to get it all out, and your body, it stores up the tears. You need to get them all out, flush it all out. If I'm sometimes feeling a bit on edge, there's a film called Beaches, and I'll watch that because I cry the whole way through. And if I haven't got time to watch the whole 2.5 hour film, I will just watch the last half an hour.
Yeah.
But if Sam cries, I don't mind it. He doesn't cry very often.
But what if he cried often?
It depends why you're crying often.
You get an argument, right? But it's just an argument.
Okay.
But there are tears.
But what are you crying for? What was said? Is the reason?
He didn't take the bins out. You guys have an argument. He's like, I'm so busy. I didn't take the bins out. I'm just really busy and run off my feet. And you're like, yeah, but we don't live in a pigsty. And then he's like, rah, and then he starts crying.
I'd be a bit shocked, actually.
Yeah.
I'd be a bit, because you saying that aloud, that sounds like something I would literally do. And I sometimes get really overwhelmed and I have overwhelming cries. Not because I'm sad, but I've just got a lot of pent up frustration and it's just sort of it's the same as having a big deep breath.
Crying is good.
Cries.
There's not enough guys who cry. I don't cry enough. I would love, it sounds ridiculous.
No, yeah.
I would love to cry more.
You should cry more. How do you think we can get you to cry more?
Mate, I don't know, man. I just feel
Watch
like it's
the film Beaches.
Beaches. I think Beaches or anything animal related.
Marley and Me.
Don't. Marley and me is a struggle.
Yeah.
Bambi will get me. But yeah, I think it was nice to see those 2 boys crying.
Yeah, I think it's a human emotion as well, especially being in somewhere like the villa. You're away from your friends and family. Even seeing them on the screen, it's not even the same as seeing them in real life, you know what I mean? So even
It's almost
that is
worse
a
because you
bit-
can't hold them.
You can't touch them.
What was it like when your family went in?
Lovely to see them, but awful because we also had the COVID restriction. So I saw mum and sister, but I couldn't hug them. Remember when you were saying a few episodes ago, you were talking to Amber saying, do you remember what your mum looks like? It was seeing cartoon characters come into the villa because it just felt so alien. I almost was like,
You don't
God.
belong here.
Yeah, I forgot. You're actually someone I really love. And you're here. And they're in normal clothes.
But also, they're almost it's really weird, but they're in your domain.
In your bit.
I remember when Pete came into Australia, he was in normal clothes and I stank of campfire.
Yeah.
Honestly, you feel like you've been living
Don't,
this
you lot's me
rough.
actually made me really emotional as well. I'm gonna tear up. But it was just I knew that feeling when
Yeah,
you're
man.
seeing someone you've not seen.
And he's sat on a log and you're like,
Yeah,
what are you doing?
here?
Sat on a log and then you smell him. You're like, oh my God, you've got your Pete
Yeah.
smell. Do you know what was interesting with AJ in particular? I think that he tried to get a message to Curtis. I think he was like, stop focusing on Elma. I think he was going, it's going well. Relax.
Yeah.
Curtis, and he kind of gave him the look and he went, let go of the negative energy.
Yeah.
And then he goes, you know what I'm talking about. And it's like code.
Not a great code, to be fair.
No.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but
like-
do you know what I mean? He's like not saying it, but I think Curtis logged it and went, right, okay, move on.
We all know that the pendulum can swing either
Very
way.
quickly. One more apology you want, it's game over for you.
Yeah.
And it can flip. So he's saying like, you're doing well now. Just
Leave
stop.
it.
Push it.
So Omar had his cousin Patricia on the line, and she warned that Luca is under the thumb and that he's almost scared of Grace. Do you think that was a bit left field? You know, it was supposed to be a call to catch up with Omar, and she's talking about Luca and Grace. Everyone's so obsessed with them.
I think maybe she was just coming in to give like outside knowledge. However, I don't think it was necessary. I feel like that was her prime time to speak about Omar, how great the relationship with Catherine is, which she did do also. Omar and Catherine have not had any sort of bumping heads with Grace and Luca.
Do you know, I quite liked it in a weird way because I think that Patricia is a fan. And I would do the same thing. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Because she's just giving an
Just
opinion.
giving fans
on-
what she
So
thinks.
she's probably sat there at home talking to her girlfriends, being like, yeah, I just feel like Luke is under the thumb, to be honest with you. And I think she's now almost having that gossip with Omar.
Yeah.
See, now you've said that, I'm thinking, I know myself really well. If I had a call with someone, I wouldn't be like, so what do you think of me and my couple? I'd be like, so, give me the gossip.
Yeah.
What haven't I seen?
Yeah.
And
She's probably
everything.
saying that in the
Are
sense
are
where...
the couples still together who have left the villa?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
mate,
she's getting the first inside scoop from Omar. So she's bringing that up thinking, okay, come on, Omar, give me something. What do you know?
Yeah,
That's going to really
exactly.
feed me and tell me what I want to hear.
And I think it's quite nice to have someone like that, you know? And I think it was just quite natural. See, I understand what you mean. And I kind of agree. That is a bit left field. But I think it's from just a place of being like,
Where's she
wow.
coming?
We want the gossip.
Yeah.
I would be like that.
So we also had Casey. Casey actually had a nice phone call with Molly and Tom, who are still, mind you, in a relationship. Still going strong.
We voted correctly last year.
We did. However, they both came online and told him about his little budgie smugglers. Like, as friends, do you want our friends to kind of guide us and tell us, look, not really liking that fit, take it off?
He said, do you like my budgie smugglers? They were like, no, you need to sort out your dress sense. No, I'd be quite upset.
Really? Oh, I'm very much like, if I'm wearing an outfit, you know when your friend's like, oh, have you got anything else? Oh my God, let's just not go out tonight then, shall we? Because you clearly hate my outfit and I've got nothing else.
This
I
is
still
really
wear it
interesting
anyway.
to me.
Why?
Well, because I just permanently look terrible. So I like
No, you don't.
genuinely.
You've worn a lovely selection of tracksuits
I
this
know,
week.
do,
exactly.
actually.
If somebody were to say to me as I was
Yeah.
coming down the stairs, you look really nice,
Yeah.
I would be like bowled over. So I think maybe it's a boy-girl thing, I suppose, because I
maybe.
take a lot less interest in like my appearance, to be fair. Not enough, if I'm honest with you. Too many hoodies. But I feel like, yeah, if someone told me, mate, go and get changed, I literally go, yeah, fair play. And I just marched straight back upstairs. Like if my pals were like, we're going to dinner with me and my mates, and they were like, dude, what are you doing? I'd be like, yeah, fair.
I loved it when we did After Sun last summer and you had a stylist and you used to come in, you used to be like, like a little robot.
Did
She'd
you?
be like, I'm wearing a patterned shirt.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a shirt with
Mate.
flowers on it.
She put me in like a flannel top or a shacket.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because anytime you do any sort of TV panel, right, and like you get a stylist, they always put you in a shacket.
They do.
Like me, Joel Dommett, Jordan North, everyone's got the same shacket on at the same time, and literally you're sat on this sofa and you're like, we all look identical to each other. It's absolutely mad. You've got the white shoes. It's mad. Everyone's got the same stuff on.
Yeah.
When we were in Australia, I nicked all of Joel's clothes.
In a weird stalkery way or to wear?
I would go into his trailer, because our trailers right next to each other. I'd sneak in when he was doing his rehearsal and I'd just go through his thing with his stylist to be like, I'll have that, I'll have that. She was like, no, he's wearing that tomorrow. I was like, I don't care, I'm taking it now.
You're like, can I have it the day after?
Yeah, but I don't know.
Straight on eBay, worn by Joel Dommett.
And he's still going to sweat in it.
Unwashed.
But I think that when you've got like a low bar, like Indiyah, you look so lovely, as you do you, Amy, that I think that if someone told you you look like...
I would
don't
really
you?
question it.
Yeah, and
but
same
I'd still
with
wear
Amy,
what
if
I
someone-
want, but I'd be like, oh, come on. I've really got to make
And I
another
think if Amy,
effort.
someone came up to you and went, what are you wearing? You'd be like, what?
Before Love Island, I was a bit like always trying to like prove things to people. So I wore a selection of very questionable outfits. Like people used to be like, what the hell's she got on now? So now I feel more like relaxed into wearing
Welcome to
like
the
normal
party.
clothes.
Yeah.
Welcome to the party.
The finale is closer than ever, and with love on the brain for all of our islanders, the villa's staying fiery with pre-loved fashion. This week, with the arrival of our two bombshells, newly formed couples, Chugs and Danielle, Sammy and Luca, were taken on a romantic double date at the Vineyard, dressed to the pre-love nines. Danielle looked unreal. That rat and boa dress was made for her, styled with that Aphrodite Gucci bag, teamed with Chugs, subtly matching an OAS Terry shirt. What a slay. A moment for Ekin Sue in that gorgeous Farai London dress. Is it just because yellow is her colour, or is she glowing with Curtis? Who wouldn't be happy with a man who knows how to rock an album called Work Jacket? It's safe to say it's been another week of pre-loved action. Need a date night fit for Valentine's? Discover your own pre-love style on eBay. eBay, sponsors of Love Island All-Stars. Now let's talk quickly about Ronnie and Harriet. So Liv and Brad told Ronnie to make Harriet his girlfriend in the villa. So when they were up on the terrace on their little date, he was about to do it and she went, not now.
Not now,
Not now.
I was like, I want to make her my girlfriend.
No, you're not doing it now. You're not doing it now. Ronnie.
No?
What do you think that was?
She got the nerves. She doesn't want to be Ronnie's girlfriend just yet. And I think she probably wants to save that moment till they're outside. Like, they've given it a good go and another shot in the villa, which is great. But I think Harriet just doesn't want to repeat
I don't understand
old
that.
habits. Why?
But with Harriet,
Too soon.
but when they left the villa last time, they left together. It was all rosy. They were going to get to know each other more. We had the Posh and Beck's pictures. It was amazing. And then they both messed up on the outside.
What does that mean?
We were led to believe in a conversation between Ronnie and Harriet when Harriet first came back in that he may have done some stuff when he was doing PAs and then she retaliated. So that happened when they were outside the villa.
Classic Montoya Popovore.
Yeah. They're in a great place now in the villa. And I think they've both got to prove to themselves and to each other that they can take that to the outside. So I do understand why she was like, no, not now.
What's the difference between asking someone to be your girlfriend in the villa to out the villa?
Real life.
So
you
are
might
we
want to do
saying
it on a
then-
terrace with roses.
But my point is, are we saying then that they still don't believe in themselves as a couple enough to do it in the villa and they want to see actually in the outside world if it works?
I think that's how Harriet feels. But I feel like it's only because she's been in this situation with Ronnie before and she just doesn't want to make another mistake with him. So I feel like she just wants to be 100% sure.
But Curtis and Ekin, in front of the entire country, have just gone full hog and been like,
Let's do it.
he even said, didn't he?
He did.
He sat there and he goes, I think I'm going to ask you on the outside to be my girlfriend, but to be honest with you, I'm just going to ask you now.
Because anything can happen. It's like, if we can't be boyfriend and girlfriend in here, it's definitely not going to
And
happen
by the way,
outside.
as a viewer, I'm like, that's what I want to see. I don't want to see you go out with each other outside. I'm not watching you then. I'm not going to follow you on Instagram. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm watching the show now. So I want to see you ask them out on the show I'm watching, and I
True.
really love it.
And if you are to break up, even if it is 3 days after, you gave it a good go.
Yeah, exactly. But the show's over then because we've all followed your journey.
Yeah.
And I selfishly want to see that come to fruition in the villa as well.
Talking of journeys, I miss the glory days when like the asking to be a girlfriend would be a huge like spectacle. Like
Yeah.
Luke T and Shawnice, they had like the trek around the villa and she had a crown. It was like a fairy tale and it ended with her asking and like Scott doing the towels for will you be my girlfriend and stuff. I miss that.
Do you not think it happened quite a bit then? Because everyone got wise to it and went, oh, well, they're going to win then if they're going to do that.
I thought Curtis could have started like a flash mob of some sort.
That would have been jokes.
Teach everyone
That would
a
have been
dance
great.
routine.
That would have been
to
I would
marry
have
you by Bruno
loved
Mars.
that. And then
That would
Ekin Sue's like, hey, let me answer it in a different way.
I think it's the mini piano out.
I don't know if it's legit, if it's not. I don't know enough. I'm a sucker for this kind of show. So like, I like to believe in all of it, right? But regardless, even if they turned out they were lying about the whole thing, I don't care.
Don't care.
Like, she's like, let me answer it a different way. And she's like, come closer. And then he comes closer and she just eats face. Like, but it's not even like a peck on the lips. Like, Casey and Gabby's very sweet, very sort of like, very, very private. They do a little couple of kisses, very nice, very elegant. She's just like, come here. And then just like, bang, just like, as a viewer, again, I'm like, this is great telly. This is really entertaining me.
For all of the couples tonight, if they'd asked them to be their girlfriends or asked them to be their boyfriends, like Tasha and Andrew, it would have been a win-win situation because either you get a new boyfriend and girlfriend out of it, lovely, or it's a good move a couple of days before the final.
Yeah.
So I understand Harriet's reasons, but we needed some more couples in there. Sorry, you should have all been doing it en masse.
Yeah, I agree.
We love love.
We love love. We love love. That's what we do here.
Yeah.
You know?
We might get some in the final vows, but by then it'll be too late.
I'm not a fan of the vows.
No, you can't ask me out at the vows. That's too much pressure. Like, you got me in this big ass dress. You're wearing a suit. I feel like I'm getting married, but I'm not really. And then to go and ask me out, that is too much. And everyone's watching.
Dammy's out here taking notes, but like, right, when I engage, this isn't, so don't do that.
Back in series 1, Hannah Elizabeth did actually get proposed to in her final
Wow.
vows.
Those were the days.
Those were the days.
And then have the wedding on like Good Morning Britain. Yeah. Those were the
That
days.
is real love.
Now, Gabby bought flowers for Casey. Sam, as a man, do you like getting flowers?
I don't know what the demographic is of people who watch or listen to this. So I don't know if I'm shooting myself in the foot here. I don't care. Like, I'm a words of affirmation guy.
Okay.
Like, if you to tell me you love me and I'm all yours. So gifts I've never cared about anyway. And then to make that gift flowers, what am I going to do? Smell them? Like, put them in a vase.
Bit of flower arranging.
I wouldn't know what to do with that. I'd be like,
Thank you.
great.
Thank you.
And just put it on the side table and be like, what do I do now? Like, if it was my birthday and let's say you were my girlfriend, you were like, oh yeah, I love you. And you like looked me in the eye.
Yeah.
And when I really, really love you, mate, I'm game over. That for me is way, way more.
We were saying this before. I think people really underestimate words. Because people say, oh, actions speak louder than words. They actually do, but sometimes actions without words.
What would you do if Dammy went, I'd really appreciate if you bought me some flowers once in a while?
I'll be like, oh God, sure thing.
But then what flowers you buy, Dammy?
Is
he a tulip guy?
A plant.
You get me a plant, a fly catcher, I am in. You know them things that go like, fly. Mate, you get me one of them.
Okay.
I would water that bad boy like you wouldn't believe. I would grow it. Vegetation
That's
I'd
good.
have. Yeah.
And they're good to look after. You know, having like veggies and stuff, they're having babies.
Agriculture.
You've got to really look after
If
them.
you were to give me agriculture.
And I think it's quite rewarding as well.
Yeah.
Like when you start growing tomatoes and they start coming in.
Or like, do you know what would be really cool?
reward.
Like honeybees.
No.
Bees are quite dangerous.
No, bees aren't, wasps are.
I'll tell you what else is dangerous. One of them couples going home. Yeah.
Islanders, the public have been voting for their favourite couple. The 3 couples with the fewest votes are at risk from being dumped from the island. That's a way to spoil Valentine's Day.
They look like someone was dying.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything
Well,
like.
one of their Love Island dreams is.
Yeah, but I give a very good point. But like, I've never seen shock. Like, they must know that's about to come. They will have been sat there, right, and been like, okay, well, there's too many of us, so someone's going to be going before the final,
Eventually,
right? Why are you all shocked that I've never understood that. It's like, you know it's about to happen.
Yeah.
And then we called all of the couples that were leaving. So I imagine the viewers probably called it as well. Like, you at home have probably called the exact same thing we called, and it turned out to be right. But when they go like, Harriett and Ronnie, I was like, oh, Sammy and Elba. And we're just like, yes. Catherine and Omar's a weird one because I think everyone actually loves them.
Yeah.
I think they placed like 4th.
Yeah, so do I.
What I loved though was we say it a lot when people are really shocked and they're like, oh my God. And we're like, have you never watched Love Island before?
Yeah.
They were all like, the dumped islanders will come back tomorrow. Casey goes, oh my God, that's crazy. I'm like, you were on it last year when they first started doing this. Like, why are you shocked? You came in and voted someone off.
Also, when Harriet's like, oh, that's me gone. Casey's, no, it's not. No, why would you say such a thing?
It was the drama of normally when a text comes through, everyone runs, don't they? And they sort of group up to listen to the text. The Shakespearean.
Well, they're all in different parts of the villa.
And like Harriet's on the balcony, like Juliet, reading the text.
And they got Casey standing up going,
no,
you're not leaving. It was quite funny seeing Grace sat next to Luca because you could see they were quite happy about it. And Grace goes like, what's going on? With a smile on her face, knowing, being like, but we're staying.
We're in the top.
Yeah. That's why you can, when people are like, no, guys, don't worry about it. It's like, it's because you're staying.
Yeah. Now, Indiyah, you know me, I love a bargain. In fact, if I can save whilst I spend, that makes me almost as excited as watching a recoupling.
Okay, I'm going to need some tips because serving looks on the pod is not cheap.
Well, ITV Kerching is a brilliant new tool from ITV. Once activated on your web browser, it literally finds discounts across 800 of the UK's largest retailers whilst you're shopping.
Wow, I mean, is that going to be quite fiddly?
Not at all. When you're shopping online, ITV Kerching will pop up whilst you're checking out. It brings you the best deals so you save money on your purchases.
That sounds amazing and very easy, but is it expensive?
Nope, it's totally free. You can use it on clothes, your food shop, and even trips abroad.
Okay, well, that's my evening sorted. Me and Dammy want to book a new holiday, and that means we're going to have some more spending money to spend on some cute glasses.
Exactly. All you need to do is go to itv.com/Kerching, follow the instructions to get it on your browser, and then shop away. Who do we think the dumped
Sammy and Elma.
Islanders? No, but the dumped Islanders.
Sammy and Elma.
The other night, I actually went through, because I'm cool, I went through the dumped Islanders and who I think they would vote out. If they go on what happened to them when they were in the villa, I think, sadly, it will be Harriett and Ronnie. If they go on what they've watched, it will be Elma and Sammy.
Yeah, really and
That's
truly.
what I think as well.
So Liv Hawkins, she's probably going to vote out Harriett and Ronnie.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Kaz, obviously, snogged Ronnie in the secret garden. It all kicked off. Out of those people, she's probably going to vote out
I see what you're
Harriet
saying.
and Ronnie.
Yeah.
If it's done on what happened when these dumped Highlanders were in the villa, it'll be Harriet and Ronnie.
I think
If
you're
it's done-
right. I think it might be Harriet and Ronnie.
but if it's done on what they've watched, it'll be Elma and Sammy.
It won't.
But we've got to wait until Sunday night
I'm really
to
excited
find
for that.
out.
That'd be
I've
great.
got a 12-hour flight between now and then, but you know.
Yes, Amy is heading off to South Africa.
And you're going to Newcastle.
Yeah! But I'm going to be hosting the Mobos and Amy is going to be taking over everything in that villa.
And I'm just going to be at home with the cats.
And that's great too.
And that's great too.
Yeah, very, very good.
So whilst I'm in South Africa, I will be chatting to all the finalists and all the dumped islanders, getting all the goss for you. And I'll be live on Instagram and TikTok at 8:20 on Monday evening UK time, getting you warmed up for the final. Plus, I'll be doing 2 podcasts from out there. So there'll be one on Monday morning, one on Tuesday morning. So do not miss it. And if you've got any questions that you would like me to ask the ex-islanders, put them in the comments and I'll see what I can do.
Guys, this is our final goodbye.
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 This
We
is
love
it.
you.
I've really enjoyed this.
It is good. Till next time.
Yeah, really, really
Bye.
good fun.